right. We're live. How's everybody doing on a Tuesday night? It's Taco Tuesday. I kind of got some tacos on the way. So we gonna get this Cowboys talk out. So I'm gonna let I'm gonna let my guest talk because you guys you guys have a Cowboys following. I love you guys on Twitter, by the way. I follow you guys, and it makes my day because there's a lot of Cowboy fans out there. Like we get a bad rap, and we deserve it some of the time. But you guys are two of the good ones. So, ladies first. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, and then Tuck. But
okay, my name is Megan. Most of you, if you follow me on Twitter, know me as MC. I'm from Toledo, Ohio, and I'm probably one of the biggest Cowboys fans you'll meet ever. But yeah. I love talking Cowboys. I love my team. I love my quarterback. As again, most of you guys know if you follow me.
Right.
And I have a reputation for saying a lot of things that a lot of people don't like to hear, but that's all right. I got a lot of people that like it, so I'm sticking to it.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Right.
Go ahead, Tuck.
Yeah, man. And J Tuck, of course, you guys can follow me on Twitter at JTuck151. I don't cause as much chaos as Meg does. I'm more the subtle approach, man. But we kind of keep the timelines lit, man. So I appreciate interactions with all Dallas Cowboys fans, just sharing my, passion of Dallas Cowboys football. I'm a huge fan myself. And so I think that's why we're all here. It's just our passion for Dallas Cowboys football and talking football, man. So hopefully get this thing on the right track and, get this 6th championship eventually.
Yeah, eventually. It's been a while, man. It's been a long time. I'm gonna ask the question: were you guys alive when the Cowboys last won? Did you see it?
I was alive. I was like 5 or 6. So I was alive. I don't remember it. I have pictures of me watching it. I have pictures of me celebrating with my family, but I would like to have one that I remember.
Right. Yeah, I was alive. I don't remember it, but I think the last one in 96 was the one that, really turned me into a Cowboys fan. And I was a Cowboys fan originally before that even happened. Like my family, we kind of grew up in the Austin area. So back then, instead of Oxnard, the Dallas Cowboys used to have training camp at the University of Texas. And so we used to go down there and watch the Cowboys have training camp or whatnot. And so I think it was like, I was probably in 4th grade, give or take. And my teacher was a huge Cowboys fan. And she would let me like do research papers on the Cowboys and stuff like that. So I started to learn and grow, like learn about the Tom Landry era, different players that kind of led up to the triplets. And then of course, primetime, man, that's what turned me into the biggest Cowboys fan. So that 96 Super Bowl was the one I really sat down, watched, locked in, and can remember. And we've been stuck ever since, man.
Yeah, how old was? Look, 96 was the best year of my life. Look, I was a Michael Jordan fan.
Right.
I love the Bulls. They won. The Cowboys won. And all of my sports teams, like when I was little, like all we did was win championships. So I just thought like, hey, every year's gonna be like this. And
life was good. Took it for granted.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I remember it. The last thing that I really remember from that game, though, is Larry Brown picking off Neil O'Donnell and taking it to the crib. The game was getting kind of close at that point, and they weren't really testing Dion, and Larry Brown took that thing down the crib. And I remember that. So I also remember in '95 when Ricky Waters scored 3 damn touchdowns or something like that, and that 49ers game was a tough one.
Right, Ricky Waters, 49ers, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't remember, like, back then the season really didn't start until we got to the playoffs. Like, making the playoffs was like an understatement. But once we got there, we knew we had to either go through Green Bay or the 49ers, since that's what we were prepared for. The NFC Championship game is what we set our aims on. But
not so much now. Like today, we'd be happy with the wild card win.
Right. Yeah, we celebrating waving towels for wild cards. Like that wasn't the standard always, man.
Yeah. So, we already talked about, I guess I'll retouch on it a little bit because one of the questions was, I'm going to put you guys both on the hot seat here and ask you guys, like, what made you guys fans? You talked about your teacher and, all of those type of things, but what really solidified you as becoming fans?
So for me, I just, growing up, it was kind of like a family thing. My stepdad was always a huge Cowboys fan. He and my uncle. Um, it was kind of like the only thing that we had to really bond over. I
Mm.
remember like during Thanksgiving, all the other kids would be playing, and I was like way more interested in the game. So like I was always hanging out with the guys watching the games, and like that just became like our thing every year, every Thanksgiving, every Sunday. Um, so yeah, just like bonding over that and just growing up with it just became a part of life. Ever since I was little, I had like pictures of me in little Cowboys onesies.
Yeah. I think Tuck already kind of talked about it. For me, man, look, I was a huge like Emmitt Smith fan. I'm still a huge Emmitt Smith fan.
That's my
Emmitt
favorite.
Smith. Emmitt Smith put me. He's my favorite player of all time. Nobody can say anything about Emmitt. If you bring up Barry Sanders, I'm just gonna shut the conversation down. I don't care about Barry Sanders. Nah, Barry Sanders is pretty cool.
Well, funny story about that. So I'm actually from Wichita, Kansas, and if you look up Wichita, Kansas, it's notorious for one thing. It's the home of Barry Sanders. So I was a Dallas Cowboys Emmitt Smith fan in the home of like Barry Sanders, man. So I wear my Emmitt Smith jersey. So I've been in so many wars over this Emmitt Smith thing, and going.
Please tell me you had the Cowboy starter jacket. Please tell me.
Yeah. I just bought another one. So I got another Cowboy starter jacket, the old one with the pockets and the zip up and the shark tooth hat, all that, man. So that's what I know, and it's like funny seeing everyone talk about the Matt Stafford Dak thing today, which we're not even going to dive into. But it's like I've been going back and forth with Lions fans, man, since I was like young, because it's always Barry Sanders over Emmitt, and still to this day, like I don't want to hear anything when it comes to Barry Sanders over Emmitt or Calvin Johnson over Dez. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah. It's crazy to me. So Emmitt, it's actually funny. So this actually almost made me shed a tear. It almost got me. Every once in a while there's something that's sentimental. So I didn't know this for a long time, but Emmitt Smith and my dad share the same birthday. And when I found, I'm like, oh my God, because I hold Emmitt Smith to the highest regard as far as football players go, man. Dude is just class. And, he's the reason that I decided to play football. That 22, man, back in the 90s, man, everybody best player wore 22 when you played football. Right. Everybody. So, yeah, Emmitt Smith is the reason that I became a Cowboys fan. But I got another question for you guys, since you guys are on the hot seat. Mm-hmm. Now, what made you want to jump into Cowboys media? Because it is pretty brutal.
I mean, honestly, I like to talk. I like to talk. I like one of my good friends, Kelly K9. He's on Twitter too, but like he and I are real close. He's another big Cowboys fan, and we're like, why don't we just like do a podcast? Like it's nothing. Like it didn't start out as anything like professional or we just do it for fun. I just like to talk about my team. I like talking with other people about my team. A lot of people don't actually know though, I was in college for journalism. Oh, so I was this close to being in sports journalism, but I changed at the last minute. So I've kind of just always liked writing. I've always liked being a part of the media, I guess, but now it's just more so for fun.
Gotcha. What about you, Tuck?
Yeah, for me, man, I have to give, a big shout out to my guy Skywalker. I was just, a guy on Twitter doing what I normally do, man. And he kept reaching out to me like for the past like 3 years. He's like, you need to start a channel, you need to start a channel, you need to start a channel. And like he brought me on his channel before I really got started. And I kind of saw how the chat interacted, see all the fans. And we literally had a show for like 3 hours and I like enjoyed it. So that kind of really sparked it, man. But also like, from our standpoint, I used to kind of be like, I am still the small guy, but like the big name guys that's kind of in Cowboys media, they used to kind of turn their nose up at me and like never will respond to me, answer questions or whatnot. So it kind of like lit a fire for me. Like, all right, well, I'm going to create my own voice, my own lane, and, possibly be in the same path as you guys. And so that kind of motivated me. But Skywalker is one of those guys that kind of reached out to me and got me started and showed me what it could really trans into. And like I said, I'm thankful for that because things have grown just far, just in the 1 year I've been doing it, man. So it's not easy by any means, but I enjoy it, man. Because like Meg said, we're passionate about it. I was going to be talking about Cowboys content anyways. And so I might as well just create the content and put it in front of the fans and have conversations with people who's like my content. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually my start is actually different. So a lot of people know me for being on Mark Holmes' channel, but I didn't start with Mark Holmes. It's actually funny. So I started with a podcast similar to MC, and it was doing pretty well. Like I was getting like thousands of listeners and stuff like that. And the guy who really put me on was Shango. Shango. I used to ask him. I was supposed to do a show with him, but I never did. And I put out a YouTube video one time. I think it was maybe like who the top 5 running backs in one of these drafts or whatever. And the video kind of blew up, and I didn't do anything really after that. I mean, I coach football around, like I'm from the DC area, so there's a lot of Redskin fans here and stuff like that. But
don't say that word, man. They got on me, Dave. I'll say that word.
The Washington football team.
Right. Yeah, they're like, you can't say that word.
No, but it's actually funny. So I wasn't going to do anything with YouTube at all. Like I get like a lot of my football I get out of my system because I'm coaching, high schoolers. But my buddy Clarence, if you guys ever follow Mark Holmes, Clarence ran into Mark at a gas station one time because Mark is out in this way. Mark's out this way too. He says, I got to hook you up with my boy. He knows the stuff. And me and Mark got on the phone for hours, and he brought me over to his crib. Next thing I know, I'm doing a YouTube that I didn't really want to do, but people somehow like listening to me talk about the Cowboys. So, I mean, every once in a while I'll put out some videos and stuff like that. But yeah, that's how I got started. And we went on the draft trip, and that was it. So sounds like we kind of all have similar starts, but it's a little bit different, but it's kind of cool to hear other people and how they got started. Right. So,
yeah, for sure.
So are you guys ready?
The key to it is just start, man. Just start. A lot of people are like trying to get into it, and I tell them like, just start, man. My show looks completely different than when I first started. I used to have my kids upstairs watching my live shows, like 3 people watch. To make sure it was working. But you continue to grow, and you'll find people who support you, man. So that's my biggest advice: just start it, man. You have nothing to lose.
Absolutely. So you guys have actually there's a couple of people that ask questions in the comments, and then we can do that before we jump into this Hard Knocks thing. Right. VA Dallas Cowboys fan said, for everyone, what's your favorite Cowboys memory?
Ooh, that's tough. That's really tough. I get that a lot of people ask me that question, and like I can't think of like a specific like play or game necessarily. Like whenever I think of the Cowboys, like I think of like, this sounds corny, but it's like home to me. Like I said, like growing up, like when I think of like my favorite memories, it was all based around Cowboys. So I don't know. I mean, I would like every Thanksgiving, win or lose, like that was like my favorite part of the holiday. I can remember a lot of things I didn't like because like I don't remember like the really like the good 90s Cowboys, you know what I mean? Like I remember the most recent years that have not been as fantastic necessarily. But so I mean, I don't know. I don't even think I have like a favorite moment per se, like within the game that I can clearly remember. A lot of bad ones come up right away, but I don't have any good ones, I don't think. I think just in general, watching the games growing up.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of hard to just cherry pick one moment. Of course, I mean, the Super Bowls are always going to stick out, especially 96 for me. But I would just say, like, recently, man, 2018, when we beat the Seahawks in the playoffs, like, I mean, just being at that game live, being at the experience, like, that was one of the first games, recently where I felt like AT&T Stadium felt like a real football stadium. I mean, we all were dressed in white. We was waving towels, standing up the entire game, man. And that run by Dak when he dove into the end zone, it's kind of explosion amongst the crowd, man. So great moment. And then also that same season, man, when we played against the Saints, man, on a Thursday night football game, man, where the Saints were hot and rolling. And then we had the Wolf Hunter and LVE coming in, and Jalen laid the hit on Alvin Kamara, man, and he's kind of being in that stand. It's like the Saints fans, they came in so fired up, and they were, talking all their trash, man. But once that hit kind of happened, I was like, oh, we're on to something new, man. So many Cowboys moments can go all day, man. But I would say probably the win versus Seattle in the playoffs is the most favorite moment.
All right, am I allowed to have two?
Yeah, I was saying you can't cherry pick.
It's your show.
It's hard.
Okay, all right, so number 2 one, I'll say I went to the Cowboys and Washington football team when Romo Romo was here, and I don't know if you guys remember that 4th and 10 play to DeMarco Murray in the corner of the end zone for the win. Mm-hmm. But I was actually at that game, and seeing that live was absolutely bananas. And I'm a big Romo guy, and I don't know if you guys remember, that was the game he kind of broke his back, and he ended up driving them down the field. So seeing that live was absolutely nuts, and it just got so. I've never heard such loud quietness in my life because there's so many Cowboy fans in this area. Mm-hmm. There's so many Giant fans in this area, so many Eagle fans in this area. So I've actually been to a Giants game, I've been to a Cowboys game, and I've been to an Eagles game. And if you go to, like, half the fans are Eagles fans, Cowboys fans, and Giants fans. So it's like it's crazy. But yeah, that was my number 2. Number 1 though was Emmett breaking Walter Payton's record. That was crazy to me. Actually seeing that live in the game. I wasn't there, but I remember that play, and that's probably my favorite out of everything. I've seen Super Bowls, but I wasn't that old, but I was old enough to really remember him break Walter Payton's record. So that was huge for me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I got one more question for you guys. My man Jay Reed, he asked who should start opposite of Diggs at the corner spot.
I'll let Meg answer that one.
Richard Sherman.
Hey, look, I'm not against that, man. I'm really not against that, but it is what it is. For me, I hope one of the young guys step up. I mean, drafted 2 of them, so and that's the perfect segue. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna have to be Anthony Brown as things currently stand, man. Like as right now, because I just don't feel like they're gonna run Diggs out there and run these young rookies out there. And first game versus Tom Brady in Tampa, it's just gonna be too much. And so I feel like starting off, you're going to see Anthony Brown, J. Lou, and Trayvon Diggs kind of being the starting corners, unless Kelvin Joseph or Nashawn Wright or something we don't expect, and they completely just take that position. But like I've been saying, man, Anthony Brown, they've been trying to move Anthony Brown at that slot for so many years since he's been there. He's not going to give up that job easy. So I would say Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, and Trayvon Diggs, and possibly Sherman.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about Jordan Lewis. My man Jordan Lewis blocked.
Yeah, blocked.
blocked.
Jay Luden blocked you, man. Got you up out of here.
Yeah, he did, man.
I went back and saw you didn't say nothing. Like you said, could he be a casualty?
Yeah, bro. Hey, look. Maybe he already got his walking papers or something. I don't know, bro. Like, I mean, look, I already said he was one of my favorite players on the roster. My man is pesky. I love him to death, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. We got to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? But that's the perfect segue because the corner position is something that's one of the matchups that we're looking forward to. But Hard Knocks is coming. 1 to 10. 1 being not excited at all, and 10 like I'm about to jump out the roof. I'm so excited. Like, where are you guys with your excitement?
I'm probably like a 9. I'm so excited. I know a lot of people aren't. I know a lot of people think it's going to bring a lot of bad light to the team. I know like the reputation of the show, but I'm here for it. I have like the Jerry aspect when it comes to like all press is good press, baby. Like let's keep it. Like we keep the NFL's lights on, and you can't argue that. We can't. Right. I mean, all eyes are on us, and I'm not mad about it. So that's how I feel.
And for me, bro, are you kidding me, man? We are content creators.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm at a 10, man. I'm actually at a 12 with it because 1, it's going to give us new content. So we're not talking about Matthew Stafford and all this other randomness that people are trying to do, trying to buy time. But also, man, you got to think about it. Last year, we didn't get a lot of offseason football. We didn't get any preseason. We didn't get any go to training camp. We kind of just dove right into the season, man. So every little bit of Cowboys content we can get and insight, I'm definitely open to it, man. And, I'm excited about it. Like a lot of people think it's like some Hard Knocks curse. But they forget like the Rams were on it last year and then came out very first game and beat us. And so we'll be just fine. Like if Hard Knocks is the reason why we have a losing season, man, then we need to toss all this stuff in the trash and give up, because that should not be the reason. And you got to think about, in 2017, we were on All or Nothing, the Amazon show, and that was the full season, right? So Dak, Zeke, a lot of these guys have already been in house. They're used to it. It's just going to be a few cameras at training camp. They'll be perfectly fine. They're probably not going to fall around the real important people. It'll probably be, Nashawn Wright or somebody random that they'll follow around for the most part. So nothing to be too worried about, Cowboys fans. Relax and get this content.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I'm at a 10 because, yeah, like you said, content creators get an opportunity to, because I know one of the videos that everybody loves is when I did break down All or Nothing. Mm-hmm. So I plan on, each episode going into depth and talking about that, because there's a couple of competition battles that got to be won. Right. You know what I'm saying? The defensive line room is pretty heavy. The corner room is pretty heavy, in my opinion. Linebackers, we don't know what the hell we're going to do there. Everybody hates Jalen. So, I mean, I'm not saying that I hate Jalen, but I also want to see, you hate him?
Yeah.
She's anti-Jalen.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Y'all going to duke this one out?
Go ahead, Megan. I want to hear what your thoughts about Jalen, because, I mean, he's been the hot topic button this past week or so. So
I just feel like he's all talk. He's all distraction. He runs his mouth. He doesn't have a lot to back up anymore. Like, you can look back. You can look back at the receipts. I was a Jalen fan for a very long time. Even last year, the beginning of the season, I was excited for Jalen. I've always thought he had a lot of potential, which I still think he does. But I think he gets wrapped up in the noise. I think he gets wrapped up in running his mouth. I think that he celebrates at all the wrong times. He makes that whole side of the team look bad when he does that, in my opinion. And I'm done. I'm over it. I think he's a distraction. He's too loud.
I kind of wonder if he celebrates, though, not to cut you off, because he wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
I always wonder if, because the injury was so gruesome, and he wasn't the drop foot, there was a low percentage of him really coming back. I wonder if that's why he celebrates the way he does. I've always thought that.
I mean, that's fair, but come on, dude. That's not what we're all thinking. That's not what the rest of the whole team's thinking when you're celebrating for no reason. Missing tackles and shit. Oops, sorry. I don't know if I can say that.
I think Cowboys fans have a bad thing when it comes to optics, right? It just looks bad. Because in 2018, like I said, when we were beating the Saints and he hit Kamara and swipe, nobody had a problem with it. And so it's now it's all right, well, he was doing it last year. And here's what I want to say about Jalen. I don't think he's a bad player. I just think sometimes optics, it's just that's a bad vibe with the Cowboys fans. And you kind of hear where he went, said back, watch the film or whatnot. So it rubs Cowboys fans the wrong way. But if you're looking at purely just Jalen Smith, the player, he's not a bad player. He's a decent player, and he's definitely an addition to our team. A lot of people get him out of here. I want him gone. And we kind of pumped the brakes on that. But if you kind of just look at it in a nutshell, what does he provide to his defense? He provides a lot, man. I mean, last year he was a Pro Bowler coming into the season, top 7 linebacker rated. This year he slid a little bit, but our entire defense slid. So you really got to give this entire defense a mulligan. I think last year Jalen was out there just trying to overcompensate, play hero ball, doing a little too much celebrating, man. But I expect Jalen to have a decent season next year. So pump the brakes, Cowboys, man.
Hey, my man Jay Reed said he feels stupid now, for having his 54 jersey and he switched to 9. Don't worry, he's gonna switch back to 54 somewhere else.
And that 9 has a lot to do with it too. Why people are when it comes to Jalen, he put the target on his back, but he'll be okay.
Yeah. I mean, at first I was a little pissed because I'm a Romo guy. I ain't gonna sit here and hold y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big Romo fan. I was salty with Dak that first year. I wanted Dak to prove it, and he did. You know what I'm saying? I was salty. I was just let him compete after the season. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, and But Jalen, I want to see how this new scheme fits him, and that's part of the storylines with Hard Knocks that we'll be able to see. That we're not really depending so much on people telling us lies or feeding us fluff. We'll be able to see things for ourselves. So I'm pretty excited about that. Another segue. So what position battles outside of the linebacker, which ones are you guys looking forward to actually seeing Hard Knocks and see how they compete?
To me, it's the corner. I think my biggest question mark going into the season is the cornerback position. Who is going to really be that guy opposite of Trayvon Diggs? And we'll have to watch because we haven't heard much about Kelvin Joseph. We heard some things kind of coming out of OTAs about Nashawn Wright, but for the most part, man, I still need me a much better CB2 at that position. So that's who I'm going to really watch and see who emerges. And also the free safety position, man. Cowboys fans, we've been wanting since back in '96, damn near when we won the Super Bowl, to get another free safety. We have DeMonte KZ, but after that, if something was to happen to him injury-wise, who's our in case of emergency? And Dayron Kershaw we brought in, he's really more of a strong safety type. You have Israel Mukwamu, who we brought in as a cornerback out of South Carolina, who's going to be converted. And so how is that really going to work out if something does happen with DeMonte KZ? And what if KZ turns out to be last year's Ha Clinton Dix, and we really have a void to fill? So the free safety position and also that second corner is going to be the main thing I have my eyes on for the most part. There's some few matches from the trenches. Tristan Hill will be another one. But, yeah, the secondary is going to be my primary focus.
You know who – okay, I don't want to keep coming back to this, but I agree with you on the corner thing. That's what I'm interested in seeing play out for sure. I don't trust Anthony Brown as much as I think a lot of other people do. But, let's just imagine if there was, a run out there that had the ability to be, a corner and a safety and could also, bring – I don't know, leadership and knowledge and experience to the whole mix of rookies that we have. Wouldn't that be wild? I just think that'd be a really good idea.
Right. Yeah,
really
does he have really long dreads? And is he outspoken a little bit?
Yeah, and he's.
What are they talking about, Marcus May?
Yeah, for graduate. I don't know. We'll see, but that'd be great. I think, but. I don't know. But for me, yeah, corner for sure. I'm interested to see how that plays out. Definitely.
What if you brought him and he calls one of his old friends who he used to play with as a free safety and brought him in too?
We got liquor in Dallas.
Yeah,
come on.
Call up Earl Thomas. All right, come on.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it all.
Now that's a Hard Knocks episode if that was to happen.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
I could just imagine Jerry calling him up and asking him if he has a drinking problem or something.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, I'm here for the controversy. I want it back. We need things shaken up a little bit. And that's another thing that people are like, oh, Sherman's, this and that, the locker room. I'm like, okay, well, maybe we need that. Maybe we need someone loud. Maybe we need someone to flip things up a little bit because whatever we're doing now is not working.
I've never heard anybody say he was a bad teammate. Right. Never.
I haven't either. I've heard he's a very good teammate. I heard that he split the locker room in Seattle, apparently. I don't know, but we're not Seattle, so I'm not worried about it.
I get him. He was pissed off that we didn't run the ball. He didn't run the ball on the – I say we. But him thinking, we didn't run the ball on the goal line. This is the guy y'all trying to make an MVP, and he threw that damn pick.
I hate that everyone makes his passion into a bad thing. He's a very passionate player. I think that's something we need. I think that's something we could benefit from. I don't think
it could backfire though because this defensive core is very young. So if you get a guy who can come in there and maybe he comes and says, you know what, the cornerback coach, he don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's an idiot. Then that can possibly separate because we saw what happened a little bit of that last year when Brandon Carr came in and some of these guys were kind of voicing out. And so, you want to be careful what type of veteran leadership you bring in, and the thing about Sherman is he is completely uncontrollable. He's not going to be PC with anything, any topic, whatever he feels he's going to say, he's going to say it. And we really don't see that works out in Dallas at all. Even the issues that we have with some players, they might have issues, but they're not going to go in front of the camera and say things publicly. They're going to kind of do things behind the scenes. So, I feel like Sherman's going to be more of a loose cannon than Jerry would be comfortable with. So, what's the upside? It have to be extreme upside for Sherman to really come in. And honestly, Steven and Jerry making that move.
Hey, I've seen stranger things in the NFL. I'll just say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see.
I'll tell you guys a matchup that I'm looking forward to that nobody's talking about. That's the tight end position. Blake Jarwin coming off of an injury, who's best friends with Dak, apparently, and Dalton Schultz, which I wanted a tight end anyway. We was team Pitts all day, but now we stuck with this competition. But let's let the Cretans fight it out. Right. But yeah, I'm very. I want to see with that. How Jarwin responds coming off of his injury, and if Dalton Schultz is ready to concede that because he took most of the snaps last year. So that's a battle that I'm looking forward to seeing because that position can be the unsung hero on this team because we haven't really gotten consistent play at that position. And if you look at other teams and how they've been thriving, tight end in the red zone has been pretty huge. So I'm looking forward to seeing how both of those guys have progressed and I want to see them in the trenches and I want to see them going at each other. I want to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, and also you gotta watch and see where does Jarwin stand as far as injury. Like I'm not sure if he's gonna be camp ready day one. I know he's still kind of going to rehab, and then Schultz went to Kittle camp or whatever they call it, tight end camp, and so he's been working with Kelsey, working with Kittle, working with some of those guys, and so I feel like there's going to be opportunity for competition, and may the best man win. But I would have got rid of both of them.
Oh man, yeah. He said I would have got rid of both of them. Look, we want to pitch hard. I know that.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go into the schedule, man. Like you guys have had an opportunity to look at the schedule. Where do you guys see us finishing? Like what our record?
It's hard to say.
Go ahead.
I would say it's hard to say. I'm not one to really go to the schedule and pick like that's a win, that's a loss. But just looking at things, I feel like we should be a 10+ win team if healthy. That really comes into play. But kind of looking at the schedule where things come into play, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys should be 10-win minimum this year. And so where that would put us in the division, it should put us to win the division, if not in the competition. Whether it's going to be New York or maybe Washington. So we should be a playoff contender. I did a video the other day. Like there's a few things that we need to clean up defensively. Zeke had a lot of turnovers, but if we can continue to create turnovers, get more pressure, stop the run, I think we'll be right back in the scheme of things. I'm not really that concerned. It's just really health and getting things back rolling. Now, if we fully healthy this year, when we still getting dog walk, man, I don't even know what to say, man.
Hey, I look like I'm gonna be washing the car a little bit.
Yeah, man.
On Sundays, bro.
Yeah. I mean, we fully healthy out there. We're looking around week 5 and things still ain't shaping out. One is probably going to put Mike McCarthy on the hot seat, and I didn't talk about that as far as Hard Knocks is concerned, but that's definitely one of the people I'm going to be watching Hard Knocks. How does he manage the locker room, and is he in full control? Because if you watch All or Nothing, we saw Jerry Jones. He was the one leading the coaches meetings before any of the coaching staff talked with Jason Garrett. Jerry Jones had something to say. So interesting to see how that new dynamic is working. But
interesting.
I feel like health-wise, the Dallas Cowboys should be 10, 11 win game as far as the season's concerned, and we should get rolling in the playoffs.
Yep, I have us at, God willing, everyone stays healthy, 12-5.
I think that's pretty solid. I don't want to give a prediction because I always jinx us, but I wanted to leave that up to you guys. I'm just hoping that we're healthy. Last year, me and my boy Elton, we were talking, and Elton kind of jinxed Dak a little bit. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Elton. You jinxed him. You said he was gonna get hurt. He got hurt, and you kind of called the game too. That's the crazy thing. But yeah, he said Dak is gonna get damn hurt, and so hopefully we get health. My man is looking very healthy. Got the Jordan cleats and everything.
Right.
Are y'all gonna get some Jordan brands, some Dak stuff, or?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I'm everything.
Getting the Jordan Dak. I'm wearing the Cowboys is going to win it this year. The meme outfit with the Zeke and the all the Jordans and the
yes.
I'm wearing that game in Tampa, man, because I'm going to the game in Tampa. That's gonna be my outfit. It's already picked out.
Hey.
And it's gonna be our year, fool. And I'm gonna be that mean guy. So I get the
Are you gonna lay it out on the bed before the night before the game?
Yeah. Damn near want to do it now. I'm so excited about that game. Hey, I was laying out my jerseys, I'm gonna kill him with this one. I was gonna pull out the City Lamb, but I was like, I'm gonna wear the Zeke, man. And so you gotta get the Jays with it, man.
MC, you going to any games this year?
I don't know. It's still up in the air. You know what's wild is I'm 2 hours and 20 minutes from Canton, so I could easily go to that game. But tickets are expensive, so expensive. I don't know. I always try to make it to at least one a year. Last year I didn't really get to because of COVID, but yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, my buddy Mark is thinking about getting an RV and driving, I think, out to the Hall of Fame game. So I might go, but it depends, man, because, coaching football, like, I can only really go up for one day and then come back because we got practice every day. So
Yeah.
I'm going to try and coordinate that. But, yeah, definitely, if you can make it, look, we can tailgate a Joe
I was
Wing.
gonna say we can at least tailgate.
Yeah, absolutely. Go out there, tailgate, have a great time. I mean, we've done it before. We did it for the draft. We plan on doing it for a couple more games this year. So, yeah, I know that I'm probably going to do the Washington football team when they come out here. We're probably going to tailgate out here. You're not that far. You're not that far from here. What's it, about 8-9 hours?
For me, yeah, it's about 8 hours.
Yeah. You should definitely come out to the tailgate. The tailgate is lit, as the young people say. Yeah, Joba wings are like that. So yeah, come on out. And the last thing that I kind of wanted to not close on, but yeah, MC, I kind of wanted to touch about your tweet where Dak actually quoted your tweet.
You mean the one that I have framed? Right?
I told you. I guess he has it framed.
Oh, that's dope.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So talk about like your story, like where were you and how did it make you feel? And obviously I kind of read it, but people here probably don't know about it. So touch on it. Talk about it.
So okay, if those who follow me, those who don't by now, I'm sure they know like I'm the biggest Dak fan ever. Not just for the way that he plays, but his mental health, the way he came out with his mental health struggle and his anxiety and depression, all that. Like that's something that I've been kind of open with, that I struggle with a bit. And I was just like having one of these days and I just like randomly tweeted like a thought that came into my mind. I'm like, man, like I really wish that I could meet Dak one day just so I could simply say thank you. Like, thank you for, having this platform and using it the way that you do and like giving me motivation to like keep going, because after everything that he's been through and the way that he handles himself and his ability to keep going, I mean, like, how can you not be inspired by that? So I was like, I would love to meet him one day just to say thank you. And I literally went to Starbucks on my lunch hour. And I did not tag him. I did not like put his handle, nothing in the tweet. So this was like how much it shocked me, right? Like I'm driving to Starbucks and I get notifications whenever Dak tweets because I don't want to miss anything. But like 99.9% of the time, we all know Dak does not really say much. It's either like a Sleep Number ad or a Pepsi. So I like looked at my phone, I put it back down. I'm like, all right. And then I like happened to open my phone and I kid you not, I had to pull over. Like I was driving and I had to pull over because what were the chances of me seeing that he tweeted and it was my tweet that he was retweeting? I literally pulled over and started crying. And I like sat there like this, just like this for like 10 minutes. And I was like, there's no way. And like, not only for him to retweet me, but what he retweeted me about, like that is something I will never forget. Like I probably read that tweet at least 4 times a day. At least.
Wow.
Like it was, I like get emotional about it. I know it's crazy. People think I'm crazy, but like I said, and a lot of like, I had people asking me to like do interviews because he never says anything. And I'm like, they're like, what did you say? And I'm like, well, what do you say when your hero, like the person that you look up to, talks to you? Like no one ever tells you. Like no one ever prepares you for that. I had no idea. So, I mean, it was amazing. Literally. So cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And, knowing what he went through, I remember actually doing the video when Skip Bayless was tearing him a new one, talking about, I don't want my quarterback, talking about being depressed and this and that. And I kind of ripped Skip a new one about that because I'm just like, look, man, everyday people are dealing with things. Right. They need to hear this. And if anything, I think that makes you more of a stronger leader, being that, you lay your vulnerabilities out there in front of everybody and you show through action that you're going through it, but you're still able to do your job or do everything to the best of your abilities. You're able to function. You're still there every day. You're fighting. Yep. So, I think that was huge. And I love that he did that for you. That's my quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I fought it in the beginning, but yeah, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I already know how you feel about Dak.
Yeah, man, Dak's my guy, man. But it's all about a ripple effect, man. Because I mean, even someone as accomplished as Dak Prescott. And when he went through his injury last year, he spoke about, Alex Smith reaching out to him, kind of telling him, gets better, continue to work. So the little things that people don't think about can go a long way. And I'm sure Dak just responded to Meg, man, kind of just changed her mindset that day, and whatever she was going through probably cleared away, and she was focused on that. She's probably smiling, happy, and positive. And so, I always tell people, not just, we're not athletes or NFL athletes, man, but sometimes the little stuff that we can do, a simple response, making trigger someone's day in the right direction, man. So, yeah, however you decide to use your platform, you got to take that with a sense of pride, man, because you never know who's watching. I mean, I have some people who reach out to me who I'd never met, and they might say, your Instagram inspired me. I'm like, I don't think nobody's even watching me on Instagram, but they're watching us, things like that. It's all about having a ripple effect, man. So that's my quarterback.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's another reason for you to be excited about this Hard Knocks coming up, because we get to see his journey and how he came back, and we get to see how Dak, really puts his work in, and that's another dynamic that we get to see. So I'm
Right.
really excited about that. So
Right.
And with that, man, we're gonna conclude, man. So where can everybody find you guys? You know what I'm saying? Like Twitter handles, YouTube channels, where can they find your podcast? Who wants to go first?
I'll let you go, Meg.
All right. So you can find my personal Twitter at the 4 E's, I believe, the_MC, or you can find my podcast at Cowboys and Chaos, and we return next Wednesday. We were on our off season, but next Wednesday we're back.
Next Wednesday. And is it a live podcast, or do you guys?
No, we record on Tuesdays, and then I post them on Wednesdays. So
okay, Wednesday, you guys be there. Go look up Cowboys and Chaos. Find that podcast.
It's on iTunes, Google, Spotify, all the good stuff. So
good stuff. All right, Tuck.
Yeah, you guys can find me on my YouTube channel, Cowboys Fans Only, man. I appreciate all the support. We just hit 2,000 subscribers today, man, so we're starting to grow. Find me there. We have live shows, live content, draft content. We just talk football there. And then also follow me on my YouTube channel, not Twitter, of course, at JTuck151, which is there below. Join in an interaction, man. Sometimes it's chaos. Might be a lot of soccer right now, man. I'm starting to become a soccer fan right now, but it is what it is. And then also go to cowboysfansonly.com to get your CFO merch, man. We're starting to fill up the store. Got some new content coming out for Oxnard and the season starting, man. So I'm everywhere, man. Whenever you see the Dallas Cowboys, you'll see me there, man. I'll be at a few games, man. So we're going to be doing some live events there. If we're going to the Eagles game, we spoke about Jalen Smith. So, Meg, you might not want to come to this, but we're having a live event. So it'll be me and some few other content creators live with Jalen Smith. We're going to be doing some things there, some hosting there, autograph signing, and all that fun stuff, man. And I'll also be out there in Oxnard next week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'll be covering out there in Oxnard, man. So if you see me, man, come say what's up and grab a beer, talk about some Cowboys football, man. I appreciate all the fans, man. DMV, I rock with you, man. I appreciate all your support. And, keep doing your thing, bro.
Hey, look, I'm a little jealous right now because I picked the wrong event. I should be out in Oxnard with you, but I picked this damn fight, and now Tyson Fury ass don't want to fight.
See, I was going to, so I'll be out in Vegas that week before I go out to Oxnard. So I was going to go out there for the fight, and so now I'm going to delay it and push it back. So I'll be so it's fight was going to be that Saturday. So now I'm going to fly out to Vegas that Tuesday, and then that Thursday I fly out to Oxnard. So yeah, I was going to be at the fight too, man. But
it is what it is. I got to figure out how far Oxnard is away from Vegas. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
it's only a 45-minute flight, man. Or if you drive, I think it's like 3 hours.
Yeah, that ain't too bad, man. That ain't too bad. But yeah, can't nobody say nothing good about Tyson Fury to me right now.
So, right. Yeah. You scared, you ducked. It's all right. We get it.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, appreciate y'all for stopping by, everybody.
Thank you.
Somebody sent a super chat earlier. Thank you for that. I think it was it might have been Deuce. I remember, but I put it up there. But yeah, appreciate you guys for stopping by. And I think Tuesdays might be a home. I might start going live on Tuesdays again as we get more less fluff and we get more football to talk about. But appreciate you guys again for coming on the show. Thank you so much. Hopefully you come on again. Love to talk. And thank everybody else who commented or watched it. Peace, everybody.